Charlie Babbitt is a collectibles dealer, and he is in the middle of importing 4 gray market Lamborghinis to Los Angeles for resale. Susanna, Charlie's girlfriend, and Lenny work with him managing the situation. Charlie is pissed since the EPA is holding the cars at the port because they have failed emission tests. Susanna stalls the creditors asking for the payment, and Charlie asks Lenny to lie to the buyers that the cars have passed the tests and they are only waiting for the paperwork, and he is also willing to discount $5,000 from each of their deals. After handling the situation at hand, Charlie and Susanna leave for their weekend plan, leaving Lenny in charge. On their way, they get into an argument since Susanna cannot just sit around for the ride and Charlie being quiet. At this time, Charlie gets a call from Lenny informing of his father's death, and the funeral is in Cincinnati. Charlie cuts the call before Lenny says anything else. Charlie apologizes to Susanna for canceling their plans, but she makes it clear she wants to go along to the funeral. He tells her that his mother died when he was 2, and it was only him and his father, and they really didn't get along well. Charlie says it's all right if she did not come with him, but Susanna insists that she should. At his father's funeral, Charlie makes Susanna wait in the car and lets her know that he has to meet the lawyer later to go over his father's will. He takes her to his father's mansion and first opens the garage. Susanna points out the withered rose bushes need to be taken care of, and he shows her the Buick Roadmaster convertible, which was strictly off limits. Later, Charlie reveals about his past that he wanted to celebrate with his friends after passing 10th grade, so he asked his father to take the car out, but he refused. So Charlie stole the keys and took the boys out in the car, but they got pulled over since his father called in to say that his car was stolen. The other boys' fathers bailed them out in a few hours, but he was left in prison for 2 days, so he left home and never came back. Susanna questions how he can keep something like this from her, even though they have been together for over a year. But Charlie interrupts her, mentioning that when he was scared as a kid, the Rain Man would come and sing to him. He answers to a puzzled Susanna that it was his imaginary friend. Later that night, the lawyer reads his father's will, and Charlie finds even the words he left to be unpleasant, and finds that he was left with the car and the rose bushes in front of his mansion, but everything else was left to a trustee. Charlie is angered and upset to learn of this, and asks the lawyer about the details, but he refuses to disclose that information. Charlie lets the lawyer know that his father will definitely be in hell looking up and laughing his ass off. Later that night, Charlie lets Susanna know of what happened, and they leave the next day with the car to learn more about the trustee. They head to the Walbrook Institution looking for Dr. Bruner. Charlie learns that the doctor is a friend of his father, and even still, he doesn't tell Charlie further details about the will. When Charlie comes out, he finds some guy sitting in the car talking with Susanna. Charlie sends him away only to hear the guy mention that he used to ride in that car with his dad. Hearing this, Charlie interrogates him a bit more to learn his dad's name is Sanford Babbitt. Charlie is confused, asks what the guy meant, but he leaves inside talking to himself. Dr. Bruner, standing there, reveals that the guy is Charlie's brother Raymond. Well, this is news to Charlie since he never had one. They head again inside and Charlie learns that Raymond is autistic. Charlie questions Bruner as to why no one told him that he had a brother. Following this, he asks Bruner more information about Raymond's condition, only to hear that Raymond doesn't understand the concept of money. This pisses off Charlie, since he only got a car and withered rose bushes, but his brother, who doesn't even understand what money is left with $3 million. Charlie takes Raymond out for a walk and tells Susanna to take the car and wait for him at the gate. He tells Raymond about their father's death, but Raymond cannot understand what he said. Charlie then takes Raymond to walk along with him, and sometime later we see Raymond in the car with Charlie and Susanna. Charlie lies to her that Bruner asked for the brothers to spend time together. That night, they book the presidential suite at a hotel, but Raymond wants to go back to Walbrook. Susanna helps Raymond settle in, and Charlie hands him the telephone book since he kept asking for books to read. Susanna once again confirms if the plan was actually Bruner's, but still, she wants to take Raymond back, but Charlie refuses. Later at night, Raymond hears some noises coming from the other room. Seeing the door open, Raymond walks in as Charlie and Susanna are in the middle of their physical activities. He sits silently on the edge of their bed and they are startled to find him there. Charlie orders Raymond to get out and go back to sleep. Susanna doesn't like like how he treats his brother, and Charlie opens up that he is upset that his father left Raymond with $3 million and him with nothing. Susanna gets disheartened by Charlie's behavior and leaves in the middle of the night, all wet and only with a shirt on. In the morning, the brothers go out for breakfast, and Raymond spells out the phone number of the waitress after noticing her name tag. Surprised, both Charlie and the waitress ask Raymond how he knew it, and he says that he read it on the telephone book the day before. Charlie also finds that Raymond has memorized the telephone book starting from A to G. While eating, Charlie calls Dr. Brunner and asks him to cut a deal for half the fortune in exchange for Raymond. After this, Charlie takes Raymond to the airport to leave for Los Angeles. He calls Lenny to learn that the creditors are pushing for the payment and he has to be there soon to fix it. Charlie tells Lenny that he will reach soon, but Raymond feels uncomfortable going on an aeroplane. Charlie insists that they will be fine and tries pulling him in along, but Raymond gets hysterical and screams. Giving in, Charlie decides that they will not take the plane and they are going to drive to Los Angeles. They encounter an accident on their way, and Raymond gets down and refuses to get back in the car and drive on the highway. So, Charlie tells him to walk in front of the car till he feels all right. After walking for quite some time, Raymond gets back in the car. Charlie wants to save the lost time by driving at night and get back to Los Angeles, but Raymond insists on sleeping by 11 p.m., so they get a hotel. In the morning, it starts raining heavily, and Charlie learns Raymond does not go out while it rains. So, Charlie gets on the phone trying to fix the problems in his business. They get back on the road the next day, and Charlie cannot handle Raymond talking nonstop. When they reach a town, Charlie gets down to the telephone booth, but soon he notices that Raymond is gone. He runs around to see Raymond standing in the middle of the road since the sign said, "Don't walk." After saving Raymond, Charlie takes him to a doctor in town to find that Raymond is really good with complex calculations, but he cannot understand simple ones involving money. They get back on the road, but Raymond insists that he needs to watch the show as usual and insists on not missing it. Not able to handle his constant yapping, Charlie finally finds a farmhouse and takes Raymond along asking for help. With the show timing nearing, Raymond goes nuts and the lady at the house lets them in. Raymond fills in his diary with the details of the show while watching it, and Charlie is still handling the business through his phone. That night in the motel, Charlie asks him how he does the calculations, but Raymond mentions funny Rain Man. Charlie is surprised to hear Raymond mention Rain Man since it is his imaginary friend. Raymond reveals that he mispronounced Raymond as Rain Man, and Charlie affirms his doubt. Then Raymond brings Charlie a picture of them both when they were young. Charlie learns that their father took it, and he also finds that Raymond used to live with them. Confirming Raymond is his Rain Man, Charlie asks for the song he used to sing for him, and they both start singing. Then, as Charlie opens the tap, Raymond starts screaming after seeing the hot water. He pulls Charlie away, shouting that it is scary and bad. It all comes clear to Charlie that Raymond was sent to the institution since his father thought he hurt him as a baby, and given his condition, Raymond couldn't clear things out. Charlie asks him to sleep as he repeats the words, "Never hurt Charlie Babbitt." Later, Charlie calls Susanna to apologize and makes it clear that it is not over between them. The next day they get back on the road, and on the way, they stop by a laundromat since Raymond liked watching the clothes spinning rather than watching the shows on his mini television. Charlie heads out to call Lenny, and he learns that the creditors have taken all their cars as payment for their loans. Lenny also informs that they need $80,000 to pay back the buyers. Charlie goes outside to perform his secret money ritual, and they get back on the road. They ride all day and cross Las Vegas by night. The next morning, they have their breakfast, and Charlie hears Raymond mention the exact number of the song from the display on the table which is being played. Charlie makes Raymond look the other way and questions the number for the songs from the board, and Raymond gets them all correctly. Charlie feels this as an eye-opener. He takes Raymond out and checks if he can remember the cards in his hands, and Raymond gets them right as well. Charlie drives back to Las Vegas, and on the way, he promises Raymond that he will let him drive if Raymond does as he says in the casino. As they reach the city, Charlie pawns off his gold watch, and they both suit up and head for the casino. They start playing, and initially Charlie hesitates to bet on Raymond's memory, but they soon start winning. As the coins pile up, one of the managers call to tape their table. In the next game, Raymond walks out seeing the Wheel of Fortune. Charlie goes to get him. Raymond mentions that the wheel will stop at number 20, and Charlie places a bet, but sadly he loses $3,000. Later, they have a drink at the bar, and Charlie calls for a celebration since they have won $86,000. He asks Raymond to stay put and leaves to take a piss. Right then, a lady approaches Raymond and sits beside him. Charlie comes to save him, but Raymond insists on chatting with her. So, Charlie gives them the space, and the lady asks Raymond for a date at 10 p.m. Raymond promises to meet her at the time and repeats that the brothers are here counting cards. The lady leaves seeing him act that way, and Charlie takes him to their hotel room. There, Charlie apologizes for using Raymond to gain money, but Raymond mentions that he has to get to the bar for a date with the lady. Charlie brings up about dancing for the date, and Raymond is worried since he doesn't know how to dance. Seeing him worried, Charlie puts on a song and teaches Raymond how to dance. They share their little brotherly moment, dancing for the whole song, but the whole mood is ruined when Raymond gets startled when Charlie tries giving him a hug. Later, Susanna comes looking for Charlie, and Raymond reminds them about his date. As they head down, Charlie gets called by the security, so he leaves Susanna to look after Raymond. The head of security mentions that they found him cheating from the tape and insists that Charlie takes his winnings and leave the premises. Susanna is worried to see Raymond sadly waiting for the lady and takes him back up. They get in the elevator, and Susanna stops the elevator and asks Raymond to dance with her. She asks Raymond to open his mouth and close his eyes. Raymond doesn't understand what is happening, but Susanna goes ahead and kisses him. Raymond lets her know it was wet and points out the elevator is still stuck. The next day, the three leave the casino, and Charlie lets Raymond drive like he promised. Returning to Los Angeles, as Charlie drops off Susanna, she thanks Raymond for their date in the elevator, and Charlie is shocked to hear something there, but she brushes it off, stating it's something between her and Raymond. Later, Charlie takes Raymond to his house and they watch a movie together. After that, Charlie gets a call from Dr. Bruner asking to meet that night. At the planned time, Charlie meets him, and Dr. Bruner tells him that they will meet Dr. Marston, who is in charge of Raymond's psychiatric evaluation. Dr. Bruner says that Raymond is hopeless, and Charlie cannot handle having a relationship with Raymond like a brother. Bruner then hands over a check for $250,000 and asks Charlie to walk away. Charlie tells him that it isn't about the money anymore, and he just wonders why his father or he never told Charlie that he had a brother. Charlie leaves after giving the check back to Dr. Bruner. The next morning, Raymond and Charlie head to meet Dr. Marston, who questions Raymond what they did the past week. Raymond covers all the instances they both did, and Dr. Marston asks Charlie that the week earlier he wanted to exchange his brother for $1.5 million, and now he has changed his mind. Charlie gives his honest opinion that he has formed a bond with his brother, but both the doctors make it clear that they are here to decide on what is best for Raymond. Moving on, Dr. Marston asks Raymond whether he wants to stay with Charlie or go back to Walbrook, and Raymond answers yes on repeat for all questions. Charlie asks him to stop since he understands what the doctor meant. Now the doctors head outside to talk. Charlie sits down with Raymond and tells him that he might have to go back with Dr. Bruner, and he doesn't know whether they will meet again. Charlie lets Raymond know that he loved spending time with him and loves him for being his big brother. Sometime later, we see Charlie dropping Raymond off at the train station, where Dr. Bruner is waiting for him. Charlie gives Raymond his backpack filled with all the things he liked and takes him to board the train. As Raymond heads inside, Charlie calls out to him and promises to see him soon. As the train starts to leave, Charlie wears his glasses to not let the tears show and smiles. Let me know in the comments what you would have done if you were in Charlie's situation, and I will see you again with another story like this. Until then, this is your host for Movie Recap signing off.